Hello, I'm Mr. Burke, and this is my Latin Appendix. It's a supplement to my Introductory to Latin series, but in this series we will go over topics very rapidly. Consider this an overview of the Latin language. Today, we are going to be talking about the genitive case. Now, the most important thing I need you to know about the genitive case is that it is translated of. If that is not somewhere in your notes, we have a problem. But I want to talk about the uses of the genitive case. Remember, we have our cases, nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, ablative, and each case has different uses. The nominative is used for the subject, the accusative is used for the direct object, and the genitive is used for things like possession. There are several more uses of the genitive case, and I wanted to collect them all here in this video, so that if you're reviewing, you can find them. Today we're going to focus on 5 uses of the genitive. We're going to overlook certain specialized uses of the genitive. The genitive can be used with certain verbs, such as verbs of forgetting or remembering or accusing, or impersonal verbs, and we're not going to talk about those. The genitive can also be used with certain adjectives, but when it comes to the genitive used in these specialized cases, I recommend learning it as part of the dictionary entry for those vocabulary words. So for example, obliviscor, oblivisci, oblitus sum, takes the genitive. Well, the same way you remember those principal parts, obliviscor, oblivisci, oblitus sum, you should just remember this is a word that takes the genitive. Now let's start with an overview. We said the genitive is translated of. Well, why is that? The genitive is a way that a noun can modify or describe or limit another noun. It's almost like if a noun wanted to be an adjective but couldn't quite make it, it would be the genitive case. So for example, the horse of the man. Which horse? Which one are you talking about? Oh, it's the horse of the man. See how of the man describes the horse. It limits the horse. It tells you which one it is. The same way if I said the big horse. Big would modify and let you know which horse. The horse of the man. Of the man is the genitive, describing the horse. Similarly, a man of the highest virtus, or the highest valor. Which man are we talking about? Oh, the man of the highest valor. Or I might have a fear of heights. What kind of fear do I have? Oh, it's a fear of heights. Sometimes this is a little looser. Things like many of the men. Which many? Well, it wasn't many of the horses, it was many of the men. Now, the 4 examples I just gave are all different uses of the genitive case, so let's go through them one by one. The first one was the horse of the man, equus viri. This is pretty straightforward. This is just considered the possessive genitive, or the genitive of possession. We also see it to express familial relationships, like the daughter of the farmer, filia agricolae. The second one, the man of utmost valor, or of highest valor, the vir summae virtutis. This is a genitive of description. This one really is very close to an adjective. And so instead of saying a brave man, or a very brave man, I describe him as a man of the utmost valor, summae virtutis. A sort of subset of the genitive of description is the genitive of material. So instead of saying silver tripods, I might just say tripodes argenti, tripods of silver. I believe this would be an example from the Cambridge series of Latin books. Or Virgil talks about flumina vini, rivers of wine. Rather than calling them wine rivers or wine-filled rivers, they are rivers of wine. The genitive of material describes the material something is made out of. The genitive of description has another interesting edge case to describe someone's age. Instead of calling him a 40-year-old man, I will call him a man of 40 years. Quadraginta annorum. My next example was a fear of heights. This is called the objective genitive. The objective genitive is almost like the direct object of a noun. Like, if that noun were a verb, then heights would be the direct object. Compare I fear heights, where fear is a verb, and heights is the accusative direct object, to I have a fear of heights, where fear is a noun, and of heights is the genitive object of that noun. To use slightly more common Latin words, let's talk about a fear of God instead. So, Deum timeo. I fear, timeo, God, Deum. I used the accusative because timeo is a verb. But timor timoris is a noun. So if I habeo, if I have, habeo, timorem, a fear, then it's timorem Dei. A timorem, a fear of God. Dei is the genitive, because it's the object of the noun timorem. Some Latin books will encourage you to translate the objective genitive with for instead of, depending on the circumstance. So for example, if I have a love of the girl, habeo amorem puellae, Some lab books will encourage me to translate that I have a love for the girl. The reason is pretty straightforward. It's unclear if I say I have a love of the girl, if it's I have the girl's love, that's the possessive genitive, where the girl does the action of the loving, or if I have love for the girl, where the girl is being loved by me. This is the difference between the possessive and the objective genitive, and so certain books ask you to translate the objective genitive in these instances for, to show you know which genitive is being used. The books are trying to clear up an ambiguity that exists in the English. I have love of the girl. It's unclear whether the love is coming from me towards the girl or the love is coming from the girl towards me. But I would point out that this ambiguity exists in Latin too. It's unclear in Latin whether you're using the possessive or the objective genitive. So although different teachers do it differently, and although I certainly will ask you to identify is this the possessive or objective genitive, I am completely fine with the translation of in these instances. The next one, many of the men, multi virorum. So here my definition of the genitive breaks down a bit. I said it was the way one noun could describe another noun. But if you look at multi virorum, multi isn't really a noun. It's a substantive adjective. So I guess you'd say the genitive is a way one noun can describe another noun or a substantive adjective. This is called the partitive genitive. The partitive genitive expresses the whole in the phrase part of the whole. You can even see it there, of the whole. So this is used with things like part of me. Part of me doesn't think we should do this. Also, many of the men. Many of the men like Caesar, but a few of the men don't like Caesar. Notice this is subtly different from saying many men like Caesar. When I say many of the men like Caesar, it sounds like I have a quantity of men in mind, and that many of those ones that I'm talking about like Caesar. Whereas if I just say many men like Caesar, it sounds like I'm pulling from the whole of the human population. It's a subtle difference, and if you can't quite hear it yet, that's fine, but just be on the lookout for partitive genitives in cases like these. It's especially common with words like multi, many, and pauci, few. The partitive genitive also has some edge cases that can be interesting and tricky for students. Cicero, for example, asks Catiline, what of a plan he took? Quid concilii. This is weird. The best place we can fit this in our understanding of genitive is the partitive genitive, but it doesn't translate so cleanly in English. Often teachers will translate that, what plan? Quid concilii. And I am partial to the comparison to what sort of a plan, but you'll notice the Latin is literally quid concilii, what of a plan. There's one more genitive that I haven't brought up yet that's a little more niche. It's the genitive of indefinite value. The genitive of indefinite value is similar to the genitive of description, but then again, all of these are about one noun describing another. It's things like, I consider him ossus. Ossus means of an os, and an os is a small bronze coin. If I consider someone ossus, of a small coin, what I'm saying is I think they're worth a small coin. I might also consider him parvi. Parvi is of a small thing. And what I mean by I consider him parvi, of a small thing, is I mean he's worth a small thing, i.e. he's not worth very much at all. Or I might consider him magni, of a great thing, meaning he's worth a great thing, meaning he's worth a lot. This genitive of indefinite value can be difficult to translate. It gets easier with time. The thing to look for are words of considering or reckoning, or even facio can work, to make. And then where you might expect a second accusative, right, I stimo virum, I esteem the man. Instead of getting a second accusative, you're getting some sort of genitive. I stimo viro parvi. I esteem the man of a small value. I esteem the man to be worth little. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we learned about the genitive case. We talked about 5 uses of the genitive case. The possessive genitive, the genitive of description, the objective genitive, the partitive genitive, and finally the genitive of indefinite value. The overall theme of the genitive case is that it is a way that a noun can describe another noun, or in some cases, a substantive adjective. Also remember, the genitive case is always translated of. Until next time, wale!